On January 29th, 1934, a curious article appeared in the L.A.Times. The article was written by Jean Bosquet, and the title was Lizard People's Catacomb City Hunted. And it's, well, quite mind-boggling. And let's try to read the footage here from the paper from 1934. Engineer sinks shaft under Fort Moore Hill to find maze of tunnels and priceless treasures of legendary inhabitants. Busy Los Angeles, although little realizing it in the hustle and bustle of modern existence, stands above a lost city of catacombs, filled with incalculable treasure and imperishable records of a race of humans further advanced intellectually and scientifically than even the highest type of present-day peoples, in the belief of G. Warren Shufelt, geophysical mining engineer now engaged in an attempt to wrest from the lost city deep in the earth below Fort Moore Hill the secrets of the lizard people of legendary fame in the medicine lodges of the American Indian. Now, so firmly does Shufelt and his little staff of assistants believe that a maze of catacombs and priceless golden tablets are to be found beneath downtown Los Angeles that the engineer and his aides have already driven a shaft 250 foot deep into the ground, the mouth of the shaft being on the old Banning property on the North Hill, overlooking Sunset Boulevard, Spring Street, and North Broadway. And so convinced is the engineer of the infallibility of the radio X-ray perfected by him for detecting the presence of not only minerals and tunnels below the surface of the ground, but the very existence of the lizard people. This is an apparatus which with, he says, he has traced a pattern of catacombs and vaults. There we have the map. Catacombs and vaults forming the lost city of the lizard people, that he plans to continue sending his shaft downward until he has reached a depth of 1,000 feet before discontinuing operations. Now, the legend supplies and clue. No idea what that means. Shufelt learned of the legend of the lizard people after his radio X-ray had led him hither and yon over an area extending from the public library on West 5th Street to the Southwest Museum on Museum Drive at the foot of Mount Washington. I knew I was over a pattern of tunnels, the engineer explained yesterday, and I had mapped out the course of the tunnels, the position of the large rooms scattered along the tunnel route, as well as the positions of deposits of gold, but couldn't understand the meaning of it all. Then Shufelt was taken to Little Chief Greenleaf of the Medicine Lodge of the Hopi Indians. This was in Arizona. The English name of the Hopi is L. Macklin. The Indian provided the engineer with a legend which, according to both men, dovetails exactly with what Shufelt says he found. Fire destroys all. Now, according to the legend, as imparted to Shufelt by the Hopi elder, the radio X-ray machine has revealed the location of one of 3 lost cities on the Pacific coast. The local one having been dug by the lizard people after the great catastrophe which occurred 5,000 years ago. This legendary catastrophe was in the form of a huge tongue of fire which came out of the southwest and destroyed all life in its path. The path being several hundred miles wide. Now the city underground was dug as a means of escaping the future fires. The lost city, dug with powerful chemicals by the lizard people instead of pick and shovel, was drained into the ocean where its tunnels began, according to the legend. The tide passing daily in and out of the lower tunnels and portals and forcing air into the upper tunnels provided ventilation and cleansed and sanitized the lower tunnels from the chemicals, according to the legend. Large rooms in the domes of the hills above the city of labyrinths housed thousands of families. In the manner of tall buildings, and imperishable food supplies of the herb variety were stored in the catacombs to provide subsistence for the lizard folk for great lengths of time, as the next fire swept over the earth. Even the city was laid out like a lizard, according to the article. The lizard people, the legend has it, regarded the lizard as the symbol of long life. Their city is laid out like a lizard, according to the legend. Its tail to the southwest, far below 5th and Hope Streets. Its head to the northeast, at Lookout and Marta Streets. The city's icy room is situated directly under South Broadway Street, near 2nd Street, according to Schufelt and the legend. This key room is the directory to all parts of the city and to all recorded tablets. This is fascinating. The legend states that all records were kept on gold tablets, 4 feet long and 14 inches wide. On these tablets of gold, gold having been the symbol to the legendary lizard people, the symbol of life, will be found the recorded history of the Mayans, and on one particular tablet, the southwest corner of which will be missing, is to be found the record of the origins of the human race. The tablets were photographed. Schufelt stated he has taken X-ray pictures of 37 such tablets, 3 of which have their southwest corners cut off. And I quote, "My X-ray pictures of tunnels and rooms which are subsurface voids and of gold pictures with perfect corners, sides, and ends are scientific proof of their existence," Schufelt said. However, the legendary story must remain speculative until unearthed by excavation. The lizard people, according to Macklin, were of much higher type of intellectuality, and accomplishments of their 9-year-old children were equal to those of present-day college graduates, he said. So greatly advanced scientifically were these people that in addition to perfecting a chemical solution by which they bored underground without removing earth and rock, they also developed a cement far stronger and better than any in the modern times, with which they lined their tunnels and rooms. Macklin said legendary advice to American Indians was to seek the lost city in an area within a chain of hills forming the frog of a horse's hoof. The contour of the hills surrounding this region forms such a design, substantiating Schufelt's findings, he said. Schufelt's radio device consists chiefly of a cylindrical glass case inside which something is attached with a copper wire held by the engineer as it sways continually, pointing towards minerals or tunnels below the surface of the ground, and then revolves when over a mineral. That is the legend of the lizard people and the catacombs of L.A. What say you? The underground catacombs of L.A. and the lizard people? Well, apparently Elon Musk didn't invent the idea of drilling holes into Los Angeles. George Warren Schufelt did it first. All the links will be below. And that's a boom to knowledge. Or not.